Hi. Kinda want to start sharing some of my thoughts on plants and growing food and stuff. So one of my biggest passions, I guess, is seeds. So you see the spanya nut. It's planted, so it has been grown in a pot from seed, which is good, but in a pot. And I kind of want to tell you guys why putting the nut in here directly, in case the conditions are right, is the better thing, and how we can actually create those conditions. So yeah, so I think there's a lot of logical reasons to that, but I would definitely like to get into more detail on also quote some scientific stuff I've read, but this video I'll just kind of keep compacted, I guess. So what I want to say is that really, if you think about a seed growing, like now we're talking about a seed that grows like directly in a place, as opposed to a plant that is a seed in a pot, or like from root cuttings, or like just a branch that you stick in the air, or even graft it. So, and the major difference, and I'm not gonna go into detail why the other stuff is bad, but rather, well, like not as good, but rather why it is so good to use seeds in situ, like direct seed fruit trees and any other tree, like native trees that you might want to grow to enhance the conditions and give back to the environment and let it recover. So basically, it's very simple, because if you think about a child, the better the conditions are that the child gets, the more it can thrive, right? So this has been proven to be true, or like proven as much as we can yet, but I find it quite logical that an apple seed that gets just from the same apple, from the same tree, if you put it in harsh condition, it will grow smaller and shrubbier and spikier, and the apple is much more sour tart than when you plant it in good seed, in good soil, like enclosed from the wind, and maybe have even other nurturing species from different heights that protect and help it grow. It will, and it's proven that those, and that has been done in Russian fruit breeding, that those bring many more cultivars. So out of 100 seeds, you'll get a lot of cultivars, which means like trees that have very good fruit quality, as opposed to in harsh conditions you get very few, which serves sometimes if you want to adapt those to a harsh climate. That's going to happen, but I won't get into detail with that now, but maybe another video concerning adaptation, which is really interesting, because only trees planted from seed in the soil directly have the capacity to adapt. But as I said, that in another video. So really what we want to do is have a lot of species that we think, so we have to really start looking at how is the environment, what are the conditions, how dry is it, what's the condition of the soil, how many seeds are there, because if you think about the principle of critical mass, or quorum sensing, the more seeds you have in the ground, and the more microbes and the more life, the more choice, you could say, even has, like, the more there, if you have so many choices, you can, like, the best seed of those will grow. So if you only have, let's say, 3 seeds in the ground, only like the best suited of those is going to grow. But if you have like hundreds, you can see that there's and even a few ones that contribute each other, that have maybe different sizes and different roles, so to say. Like some are fruit trees, some are like protecting fruit trees that have spikes, for example, protect them in the early years to where they can tolerate the shade well, protect them from being eaten. And others just like give flowers that attract bees all the time, or attract birds, and all those are important, and especially if they're multi-strata. So what we want to do, really, I think, is create great conditions, and we're going to talk about how to create them in more detail, or I want to. and also so create good conditions and plant as many trees, fruit trees, and there we can maybe have a bigger variety, and other native, at best native species that contribute to the whole ecosystem, contribute, if we want to the growth of the fruit tree, and grow them directly in the soil, and have good and have a good ground cover, a nutrient cover like this, and I think that will be much better and much less work and much more prone to be successful in the long run, because this seed will adapt 100% to this spot and to the others around it, that they can enhance the expression of the DNA, the genes. Like if we'll know, okay, there's this other plant that can help me, or know that it knows that so to say that these conditions will favor it, and thus it can express more. Whereas, let's say in a pot, it's kind of tricked, isn't it? Like it thinks, oh, there's just this much size, there's no other plants. So I think this has a big effect. So it's kind of like a child, like in a pot. It's like a child that you just grow in a house, and it can never go outside, and then all of a sudden you throw it out into the bush, and what does it do? It's very hard for it to survive. It's not used to all that. Whereas the banyan nut that I put into here is used to, like, it's gonna if it's gonna grow, it chooses to grow because the conditions are right. And if it doesn't grow, it's not right anyway, so I have to look for other options. So I have to really see like which seeds would benefit it the most, or if I want to grow other seeds, then how can I create the conditions for that? And this is a great area for that I want to get into of research, kind of, that how can I create the right conditions for different right plants to thrive? Because really, for example, if you think about a banyan nut takes out a tuber into the ground, and once it hits some hard rock or something, that the nut goes out and creates a tuber where it hits hard soil, and there it can sit for a year or longer till it comes up. So if you think about that, so that the banyan nut knows kind of how the soil condition is, and thus expresses itself. But if it's in a pot, the pot is only this deep, this is going to have an effect, I guess. And not only that, how can it adapt to the weather, to the climate, to the other place, like to the species around, to like whether animals or other plants, and all those things, and the electromagnetic field, all those conditions are only real in the soil, like right at its place. And just gotta check if I forgot anything, but yeah, the more seeds, the more chrome sensing, the more life, the better. And so really we've got to think that the youth of a seed, when it adapts itself, is really important. So and we don't want it to be forced to go somewhere else. We want to have it thrive in the place where it's at. Yeah. For anything else, I guess further videos,